Assalamu alaikum, Stasso here, and welcome to the next session of the Know Your Purpose program. And we are now in the exciting part. So, over the next 3 sessions, we're going to be doing a series of sort of short workshop style exercises, which is aimed at just uncovering the kind of the deepest areas that resonate with you, and figuring out what your mission, what your service could be. So, with that in mind, here's what we're going to cover. Let's figure out your area of service, and then there's going to be a few exercises, inshallah. So let's figure out your area of service. Remember, the thing that unlocks our purpose and potential as our service, and our service is our mission. So let's figure it out. As I just mentioned, we're going to be going through a number of different exercises over the next few days. You might think you don't have enough time to come up with an answer, but don't worry, just write what comes to mind. The process of this is to extract from within, and these exercises can help you to figure out stuff you've never quite realized. Don't overthink it, don't try and be too clever, you don't have to have a perfect answer. Don't even analyze the point of the exercise. All this stuff I'll explain later. Some of this stuff might seem pointless, some of it might seem like, random. Just humor me. Just go with it. If I ask you to close your eyes, for example, please do it. Answer the questions honestly and sincerely from the heart. If you need to repeat, you need to watch the video again, you can do it. But again, with this stuff, the best time to do it is doing it live when you're listening to it. And so what I might suggest is that you do the exercise and have a notepad out. And do it, and press pause, and then when you've done it, or you can do the worksheet, and then unpause it when you go on to the next one. The ideal situation for your answers, and how you'll know if your answers are sort of fairly accurate, is if you'd score them an 8, 9, or 10 out of 10. Anything less than this, it might need more work. So again, as I'm saying, don't try and perfect it. It doesn't have to be exactly spot on, but we just want to ballpark. We want to, if it's an 8 out of 10, a 9 out of 10, or a 10 out of 10, yeah, that's a good enough answer. You can write them in the Google Doc, or you can write them by hand in a notebook. I find for something like this, that's better, but that's maybe just the way I work. If you can just use the Google Doc that we have. If you do feel you want to do the exercise again, but with more time, you can re-watch this or pause. But one word of warning is that sometimes too much time is not a good thing, because the objective is to dive deep into your subconscious and figure out what you really, really want. And time pressure and urgency and that pressure, it kind of forces you to spit out what really is what you want, because often it's the first thing that comes to mind is what you keep, you're drawn to that for a reason. We can discuss your answers and what it may mean in the coaching call. I will do a sort of a light summary explaining some of the exercises, what the things that they're pointing to later on. Again, remember, the purpose of the exercise is to warm up your mind. So when it comes to doing the framework for phase 3, you'll hopefully find it easier, as these activities will have triggered some interesting thoughts. So I just wanted to prep you, and so you have that in mind before we start. So let's begin. It's your lucky day. You've inherited $1 billion in secret. It's not made public, and the best thing is completely tax-free. So what do? You take a year off to celebrate. You buy all the things you've ever dreamed of. You give your family $25 million each. You give millions and millions to charity. You've got an entourage of staff to take care of all your household needs. You now never have to work again or worry about making a living. You have all the free time and all the money you need. You have no fear of what anyone will think or what anyone will say. You have all the confidence in the world. A year down the line, you've been on all the holidays, you've bought all the things. Now you're a little bit bored and you really, really want to do good and make a change in the world. Failure doesn't even matter as there's no pressure. You can keep on trying as you have the freedom and the resources to do whatever you want. What do you do and why? So you can take some time to you can pause the video here and you can take, I would suggest, up to three minutes, 3 to 5 minutes is about right to get all your words out. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the next exercise, and you can um, and what we're going to do now. Imagine you're looking at your tombstone. May Allah protect us all. There's only 3 words that they can fit on there that described you and how you lived your life and what you stood for. What words would you use that represent you most? What words would be an 8, 9, or 10 out of 10 for you? So my suggestion, just to help you do this, is to write down the first 7 to 10 words that come to mind that most describe you or describe your values or describe what you are all about. And then you eliminate from there. And you can eliminate, you can combine, things like that. But the other thing I would say is that remember to be authentic. You don't need to tone this down at all. Just be completely real with yourself and the top 3 things that you would put. So I would give yourself about, again, 2 to 3 minutes to do this. Okay, so you can pause and you can now we now move on to the next one. Okay, so how on fire are you? So you can see the screen. The hotter the flame, the more on fire and more in flow you are. The hotter the fire, the more energy you have and intensity you have towards your goals. With what you do now, what temperature are you at? You can look at the descriptions as well. So at 525 it's just visible, at 800 it's dull cherry red, it's clear red at 1000. So with what you do now, whatever your job is, what colour flame best represents you? And bear in mind, the more you go towards white, the more energy you have, the more activated you are, the more you know, the more like powerful and burning it is. Okay, so that's part one. What you do now, what temperature are you at? Part two, what would make you dazzling white hot? So as you can see at 1500 degrees, you're dazzling white. That's where you would burn the brightest. It would be the hottest. It would be the most powerful. What could you do that would give you that level of heat? So you can pause, and again, maximum of 2 to 3 minutes to do this, ideally. And so you can pause here. Okay, so the next one. So you're at the pearly gates. So I know that this isn't not the normal process for Jannah, so you're gonna have to humor me here. So you're in the queue to get to heaven, and you can see you're next in line. They've got a book open, where they're reading off the names and what has led that person to Jannah. So you can see you're next in line, and you can see your name in the book, and you can also read from where you are the top three lines, what they've given for you to actually get there. The question is, what do those three lines say? The most important thing is this is all about what you gave to get there. This is not necessarily what you achieved. The other thing I'd say is that even though it's three lines, it doesn't have to be three separate points. It could just be one point. So to give you an example, there's a famous story about the prostitute who gave a dog water. So that's what she gave to get her place in paradise. So what does your giving look like with that comparison in mind? So this one again, take three 3 minutes to write something down. So that's the first four. We're gonna have two more sessions of this. So the action items is to obviously complete the worksheet, which has got the exercises, and write all your notes up, and write out all your thoughts to each of these four exercises, in as much detail as you can. And I will see you on the next one.